Hey guys, what's up? It's Catherine, and today we are going to be talking a little bit about some self-love, relationships, body confidence, basically everything around those topics. Today being Valentine's Day, I felt that this is a perfect video to talk about. This holiday basically gets thrown in your face as being something that if you're not in a relationship, you should feel crappy about yourself. And that is the worst thing in the world for anyone to have to feel on a day like this. Valentine's Day doesn't just have to be a day about celebrating being in a relationship with like a significant other. You can celebrate being in a relationship with yourself and owning your self-love and your body confidence and just everything about yourself that you are happy about and you feel confident about. I think self-love and everything surrounding that kind of subject is very important for everyone to practice and kind of understand. I think being confident in yourself and loving yourself is something that everyone should be able to accomplish, and you should be able to get to this point. So I just want to give you guys a little bit of background on my journey and kind of everything that I went through. So I was single from beginning of 2017 to the beginning of 2018. And that whole year was something that I truly needed. I had just gotten out of a relationship previously, not to mention a very toxic one, but I took that whole year to recognize that I needed to focus this time on myself and learning to love and appreciate myself and who I am as a person, because that's honestly the most important thing before you ever decide to jump into another relationship. Because I have a lot of friends that will go from relationship to relationship like within days. And that is something that I highly, highly advise against, just because after you get out of a relationship, depending on like what kind of relationship it was, for me mine was toxic, I needed to take that time to really like relearn myself and learn a lot of things about myself, so that when I went into this next relationship, because currently I am in a relationship, a very happy relationship, we'll be celebrating a year basically today, which is, well, today's not February 14th, but the day that this video goes live will be 1 year in my relationship. But that's besides the point. I think I was saying something about how you need to be able to bring that self-love and bring something to the next relationship that you jump into. Because if you are like out in the world and kind of looking for someone else to complete you and someone to give you that love, that's kind of where you're totally going wrong. You should never be going out to look for another person to complete the love that you feel like you don't have. You have to learn how to love yourself first and have that like confidence and that independence as a person before truly jumping into another relationship and just depending on someone like so much. I think that's something I see a lot in relationships as well. People that are very, very dependent, like codependent on this other person. And if you're gonna be in a relationship, I think it's extremely important that you guys are two separate independent people that love their lives, love what they're doing, but want to combine those and basically like have that life together without feeling like you are just codepending on each other. If that kind of all makes sense. So during this whole year of me being single and basically learning how to love myself, body confidence and body image were a very big thing for me. Especially when you are single and you are just like kind of wanting to be in another relationship, or like, you know, you're gonna be dating, stuff like that, or just like meeting other people. You wanna feel like super confident in your own body, and it's not something, you're not just gonna gain this confidence overnight. Like, clearly things don't happen overnight. Nothing works that way. This is something that you kind of have to practice and fully understand and learn over time so that you can actually believe it yourself. Because if you don't believe it yourself, no one else is gonna believe it. So body confidence was something that in the past I have fully struggled with. Over time, I have learned that it's important to love the body that you have been given, because it's the only one you're gonna have. People get their boobs done and other things, and that it like changes your body, but besides that, like the body that you have is basically going to be the only body that you are going to have in this lifetime. What's the use of not being able to enjoy it and fully appreciate it? Because it does a lot for you. And with body confidence and body image, I also found that I was, during this time, comparing myself to other women who were like these Instagram models, and that's probably the worst thing that you could ever do for yourself, because there's comparing yourself to someone else's life and what they're doing is never gonna end well. It's not gonna make you happier, it's not gonna make you feel better about yourself, it's literally not going to do anything positive for you. You also have to really remember that Instagram and certain social media platforms are basically a highlight reel of these people's lives. It doesn't show the struggles that they go through. It doesn't show you the things that they deal with on a daily basis that may be really crappy. These are just the highlights and the high points of their life that they're putting out there as their image, which in turn makes it seem like they have this perfect life and this perfect world and everything is just so perfect for them, when in reality, obviously, nobody's life is perfect. So don't be so hard on yourself and don't compare yourself and where you're at in your life to someone else's, because I've said this before and I'll say it again, your page 5 is not going to be the same as someone else's page 5. They may be on like page 75 and you're on page 5, so there should be no comparison between those two. No one is ever at like the same exact point in their life as someone else that they're comparing themselves to. They're probably either further along in their life or not as far as you, and it's just really not good for yourself to compare yourself to these people. One thing that I have learned that helps, if you are starting to realize that you are comparing yourself to someone else's life or their image or something like that, if you find that you're doing that quite often or like every day even, which is really, really toxic to yourself. If you are following them on a certain social media platform and you find yourself doing this a lot, one thing that I highly recommend is unfollowing them for a while. Unfollow them until you learn to appreciate and love the person that you are, the body that you have, or the way that you look, so that you learn all of that and come back to wanting to follow them again. Rather than looking at their photos and being jealous of where they're at in their life, you can look at it and be like, oh, that's actually super awesome. This is so cool. I'm so happy for them. And that way you look at things in a whole new perspective rather than seeing a photo and instantly feeling bad about yourself because you're not there. I know that's something that everyone tends to struggle with, but at the end of the day, it's a highlight reel. They don't, well, I've noticed some people are starting to put like more real things out there, so you can learn to know that you are not alone in this situation. Everyone has their bad days. Sometimes things don't go as planned and that's okay. Sometimes shit happens, but it's totally fine. You kind of just have to take it day by day and remember that maybe today is really crappy, but tomorrow's a new day. And you can either choose to move past that and just get on with your day and have a whole new day, a whole new fresh start, or you can choose to drag yesterday into today and make it another crappy day. So truly, I just think it's so important to take the time in your life when you are single to actually focus on yourself and learning to love yourself, because that is the most important thing for you. There's never going to be anyone else that's going to give you the confidence and the self-love that you deserve other than yourself. Well, not that you deserve, but I guess kind of what you deserve. But you shouldn't be looking for that from someone else. You need to be looking for that from yourself. That's where this all needs to start. I was someone who wasn't totally confident with my body a few years ago. To make myself more confident and truly enjoy the body that I have, I decided to join a gym, and I decided to do things that made me happy about my body and the way that it looked. And I'm not saying like just go get plastic surgery to like change something about the way you look or anything like that. I'm not saying like that. You have to go and change it. You just need to learn to love it and do what makes you happy, or what's gonna help you learn to love and appreciate that part of you, if that makes sense. Someone asked, what's one thing you love about yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally? So mentally, I would definitely say how strong of a person I have become. There was a lot of really hard things that I personally had to go through to appreciate the strength that it gave me, the strength that I learned from those hardships and those hard times in my life. Physically, I guess I would say my eyes, because I always love that saying where they say the eyes are the window to your soul, and everybody's soul is different, so I think that's really unique. Just remember that you are the best version of you. Nobody else is the same person as you. There's only one of you. And I guess emotionally, it kind of goes with the whole mentally one, but how strong I can be, my emotions, and not letting things get to me. I used to be a very emotional person, let me tell you, but I have learned to move past that, and I've realized that if there's something in your life going on that you absolutely have no control over, there's truly no point in getting angry or sad or upset about it, because it's out of your control, and you getting angry or mad about this thing that's completely out of your control is going to do nothing to change the situation. The last one that I want to address in this video are some of my favorite things for self-care, some of the things that I like to do when I'm just really needing like time to myself. So usually if I have time, because again, everything doesn't go as planned, there's not always time for everything that you want to do, but if I have the time, I love to take at least one day a week to basically just focus on myself and kind of like pamper myself and do the things that make me feel good about myself. So for example, like putting on self-tanner or painting my nails, or even just reading a book or taking some time to myself, taking a nap, like literally things as simple as that, to basically take the time to recharge and spend time on yourself. Also, I want to mention that I feel like this shirt is very fitting for the topic of today's video. If you guys want to get this shirt, it'll be linked down in the bio. I do have in the bio. In the description. I'm so used to like Instagram bio and having to put links there. It will be linked in the description box below. So if you guys want to get this shirt, coupon code and everything is down below for you guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my chatty video all about self-love, confidence, relationships, stuff like that. If you guys are open to sharing any experiences or anything that you guys have gone through in the comments down below, I'd love to read through some of them, and I'd love to kind of like create a little community of people. We can all like chat with each other and share our experiences, and it's kind of a way to know that if you're going through something, like you're probably not alone. There's probably other people going through those same things as you. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will catch you guys next time.
So why you keep playing?